You know, they loaned the least they could, just enough to keep your mama poor on a guaranteed return. Thought they could swipe her land for $25,000. That's just so arrogant it makes my teeth hurt. To see you boys pay those bastards back with their own money? Well, if that ain't Texan, I don't know what is. As a filmmaker, I'm always drawn to things which are not black and white in terms of their moral shades. And so I guess I was interested in one of the elements of this film was this thing that I call redemptive criminality, where people do, you know, good people do bad things for good reasons. Tanner is consciously a bad guy, but also with some good elements. And Toby's a good guy, but trying to be, you know, but trying to do something for the right reasons, but he's definitely doing the wrong thing. And I think there's something really interesting about that balance, and that is definitely an area of attraction for me as a filmmaker, but also in particular in this film. The thing that is really interesting about the movie or the script is that it seems to have a very strong sense of place, a very strong sense of identity, a strong sense of the weather and the environment. And it adds up to something that feels very cinematic, and it feels like it taps into the DNA of some of the great movies that have ever been made, or particularly great American movies that have ever been made. And that was something that was very exciting to me when I read it. I thought of kind of great bank robbery movies, or great road movies, or great westerns, and it's amalgamating all those things, and that feels really thrilling, you know. And it feels like it, in some ways, it belongs to you know, the golden age of cinema from the 70s, but it also feels very contemporary.
This is what they call white man's intuition.
Sometimes a blind pig finds a truffle.
And everyone who's been in the cast of this film has, you know, been absolutely fantastic to work with, and it was a real pleasure to work with the top four, you know, with Chris Pine and Ben Foster, and with Jeff Bridges and Gil Birmingham, and they're just really, really solid, fantastic, inventive, creative, good fun, happy people. It was great.
Start the car!
There are a series of bank robberies in the film, the first few of which are successful bank robberies. The last one, of things go a little bit wrong, and it plays out on a fairly big scale. It's a much bigger bank than the small-town banks that they've been robbing up until now. And so that was an interesting challenge to play on that scale, and the boys, when they enter the bank, aren't expecting it to be as busy.
You got any idea how much I owe Debbie in child support?
Got enough in your front pocket to fix that problem right now.
You can't spare it, you know that.
Maybe we should hit another branch.
The other hearts of the movie is the relationship between brothers, which is a very strong thing. I have a great relationship with my brother, and I was very drawn to that relationship between brothers and what brothers are prepared to do to help each other. It feels like that's a kind of very universal theme, and something that's timeless, and that is a strong part of the film, I think. Family and what you do for family, and you know, in Toby's journey, as I said, he's prepared to do bad things, but he's essentially doing it for his family.
You want to get us killed? Huh? That's out of Midland Branch. That's not part of the plan.
Now we gotta go back to the ranch and bury the car.
No, we do not. We're over halfway to Oklahoma.
I'm not driving a stolen getaway car. Look, get Indian casino.
It just feels like there's a lot of really strong kind of Americana imagery. There's a lot of the decay that's in this, you know, there's a poverty and decay in the script that we were able to find here in places like the old banks that have closed down, or that are feeling like they're nearly closing down. That was a really important part of the flavor. But yeah, to be honest, the idea of doing any of this in non-real locations feels uncomfortable to me. I mean, it's such an amazing landscape and such an amazing, you know, feeling and architecture and textures in the reality that the idea of faking it feels very uncomfortable.
Maybe one of these bank robbers is gonna want a gunfight, and I can dodge my retirement in a blaze of glory.
Well, I seen you shoot. Won't be much glory in it.
It's not played as comedy, but there's a big, thread of humor in both the two relationships and also in some of the people they meet. And the two brothers also have, as well as the reality of their situation, they also have a chance to have fun with each other. And there's a lot of fun in the movie.